Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Namo
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Yes, so we welcome all of you to our weekly Bhagavad Gita classes. Thank you very much for joining. We have with us here Aja, Auntie Neeta, Disha Milwani, Divya, Durga Prasad, Hema, I don't know who's iPhone 6. Then we have Bhumika, Karuna Jadwani, Lal and Mehak Milwani. Then we have Manju, Meena Bharwani. We have N.C. Venkatchari. My parents are there. Then we have Ritu Lalwani, Sri Radhe Hari, Devidasi. And we have Shivani. And we have Venkatesh A. Okay. So currently, we are on chapter number 9, titled The Most Confidential Knowledge. Let me open my Veda base 1 second.
Finally.
So we saw in the previous class how Krishna is talking about the different
Forms.
devotees. No? And before that he spoke about fools deride me when I descend in the human form. So he's talking about how the fools or mudas, the Sanskrit word is mudas. He says mudas, they cannot, they deride me. Deride means they make fun, no? They make fun when I descend in the human form, because they cannot accept that the Supreme Personality of Godhead or that God can have a human form, because their belief is that the Supreme is, I'm sorry, the Supreme is formless. So he's saying that they do not know my transcendental nature. What is Krishna's transcendental nature? The Lord, there's nothing that God cannot do. So he is the Brahman effulgence. He is also the Paramatma, but he's also a person. He's also Bhagavan. So Krishna is saying they do not know my transcendental nature as a supreme Lord of all that be. So Krishna is saying that they are foolish, mudas. Now, what is the result of this foolishness? Krishna explains in verse 12. He's saying that they are bewildered and they're attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. So this view, Krishna is saying, is Asuric and Rakshasim. See, he says here, Rakshasim and Asurim. And then because of this belief of theirs, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge, all these are bewildered. All these, they are all baffled in these aspects. Then after talking about this extreme, Krishna goes to the next extreme of describing the pure devotees, the Mahatmas, in verse 13 and 14. So who are the Mahatmas? Krishna says, those who are not deluded, the great souls, they are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service. So they're completely absorbed in devotional service. So the great souls, Mahatmas, are those who are fully engaged in devotional service. They are not deluded. They are not under any kind of illusion, because they know that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead, and they know that he's original and inexhaustible. And what do they do? 4 things Krishna mentions in verse 14. They chant my glories, they endeavor with great determination, they bow down before me, and they worship me with devotion. So see, these are the 4 activities that Krishna mentions of the Mahatmas. Now, after mentioning these 2 extremes, he talks about people who come in between, in between them. So who are they? Those who worship the Supreme Lord as one without a second. So these are the Ekatvenas we discussed. Ekatvenas are those who believe that one can, or the jiva can become equal to God. So there is no distinction between that the Lord is the superior and we are his servants. No, Ekatvena. Everyone can become equal to God. Then he says, as diverse as many, or Prathakvena. Those who, here Krishna is talking about the demigod worship. No, those who believe that there are many gods and all of them are supreme and all of them are equal. So there is no distinction that there is one supreme controller and the others are the administrators of the universe. So this is Prathakvena. And then Vishvato Mukham, universal form. So Vishvato Mukham means they believe that the Vishwa, that the Lord or the material world, this Vishwa is the Mukha or the form or the Rupa of the Lord. Vishvato Mukha means they believe that the Lord, the Vishwa, the universe, is the Mukha of the Lord. So it is a materialistic tool to attract the jivas towards the Lord. Now, amongst these 3, Krishna says that the universal, those who are worshippers of the universal form are the most superior amongst these 3. So therefore now in verses 16, 17, 18 and 19, Krishna is talking about how he is the ritual, he's a sacrifice. He's describing basically Vishvatomukham. No? So he talks about how he's a father and mother of the universe, object of knowledge, purifier, and so on and so forth from verses 16 to 19. Till here we saw in the previous class. Now from 20 onwards, he's going to talk about demigod worship, worship of the Devatas. So that we'll see in today's class. Does anybody have a question before we proceed? Who can read today?
I can read.
Yes, Divya, thank you. Okay, another point I wanted to mention is So if we want to summarize what we have learned previously also in chapter 7, if you remember, if you recall, Krishna talked about four categories of people who surrender to him and four categories of people who never surrender to him, the Sukritinas and the Dushkritinas. So if you want to put everything, summarize those worshippers and the worshippers that Krishna has mentioned now, then this is the hierarchy. On the topmost level of Krishna's worshippers are the Mahatmas. Then comes the four types of Sukritinas, the four kind of people who surrender to Krishna. So we saw them, they were the distressed, the inquisitive, one who desires material gain, and one who's searching for knowledge of the absolute. Then come these three which Krishna has mentioned now in this particular chapter, Vishvato Mukham, Pratakvena and Ekadvena. Then below them, last of all, are the four Dushkritinas because they never surrender to Krishna. The Mudhas, the grossly foolish, the Naradhamas, the lowest amongst mankind, those whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and the demoniac. So this is the category, or this is how you can put them in order of the topmost to the lowest amongst them, the three levels of Krishna worshippers. Okay, we have to go to 20. Let's hear the Sanskrit.
त्रैविद्यामां सोमपाः पूतपापा यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान्.
Divya, are you there? Is Divya there?
Hello?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice. Sorry. I can't see the whole screen. I don't know. I mean, the whole.
You're not able to see the screen.
No. Let me see. 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second.
Okay, so I will read this translation. You can read the next translation onwards. Okay. So those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. So here, as we discussed, Krishna is going to talk about the worship of the demigods. So what is Krishna saying? Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice. So what is a Soma juice? Soma juice is a special drink that is enjoyed by the denizens of the higher planetary systems. Now, one must not mistake this Soma juice to be the ordinary alcohol that we are getting here in this in this planet. Okay, because many people comment that, oh yes, even the devatas, even the gods are enjoying Soma ras, so even we can enjoy. But we should understand that this Soma juice is something that, say here, if we read this purport, by drinking this Soma beverage, the demigods become more powerful mentally and increase their sensual power and bodily strength. But this is not the case with the alcohol that people drink here on this planet, isn't it? This alcohol that people drink is not something that is going to make them powerful mentally, increase their sensual power or bodily strength. In fact, it is going to bring them down. When one consumes alcohol, and that too beyond a limit, then one starts to behave in a very weird manner. No, alcoholism is self-imposed madness. He starts to behave like a madman. He loses his sanity. Otherwise, if you meet them, they may appear to be very, very decent, very educated, no, very knowledgeable. But when they are under the influence of alcohol, then they completely behave like a madman. So this is not the case with Somaras. So first of all, we should not mistake that, oh yes, they are drinking, so we can also drink. No, there's a lot of difference between the Somaras that is consumed in the higher planetary systems and the alcohol that we get here. Anyway, Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets. So how can one seek the heavenly planets by drinking the Soma juice? Is because by drinking the Soma juice, one gets some punya, and that can help them to go to the higher planetary systems, go to the heavenly planets. Because when you get punya credits, then you can go to the heavenly planetary systems. So, what is Krishna saying? Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. So, even those who are going to the heavenly planets, no, they are also worshipping Krishna only. So, Krishna is saying they are also worshipping me, but they are worshipping me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra. So why is Krishna mentioning Indra here? Is because Indra is the king of heaven. So he's saying they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra. Now, what do they do there in the planet of Indra? They enjoy godly delight. So the facilities for sense gratification in the heavenly planets is hundreds of thousands of times greater than that what we can experience on earth. So here Krishna is talking about the worship of the demigods, because who can go to the heavenly planets? Who can go to the planet of the Devatas? Those who worship the Devatas. Because whomever we worship, that planet, that is what is going to be our destination. So what is the problem? It's great, isn't it? They can enjoy godly delights. They are purified of sinful reactions. So what is the problem? Everything seems fine. That Krishna is going to explain in the next verse. What is the problem with this? What is the Sanskrit for sin? I'm sorry, purified here. If you see the word for Sanskrit for purified is puta. Does this word puta remind you of any demon that Krishna killed?
Putana.
Putana, yes. Putana is the first demon that Krishna killed, isn't it? So what does that name Putana mean? The word na means not. So Putana is that personality who was not purified because she came with evil intentions. No, she wanted to feed Krishna poisoned milk. So because she came with evil intentions, not pure intentions, that's why her name is Putana. Anyway, let's continue. Come back to our Bhagavad Gita 21.
एतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते.
Divya, are you there?
They have,
Yeah.
yeah. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense, I cannot read. I don't know why. The whole thing.
I
It's
can
getting
take
hard.
over if you want.
Okay.
Can I?
Yes, Aja, please.
Translation. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the result of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
So what happens there after they have enjoyed the vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, no? So one can enjoy in heaven only as long as your pious credits or your punya karmas last. Once the punya karmas are exhausted, then what happens? Krishna says they return to this mortal planet again. So that is a problem of going to heavenly planet. As long as you are there, then it's great. But then you're not going to be there eternally, Krishna is saying. You have to come back. So once your pious activities are exhausted, once your punya karmas have finished, then you have to return to this mortal planet again. It's like one goes on a vacation. The vacation is great, but then you're allowed to live in the hotel only as long as you're going to pay the hotel bills. At some point, you have to come back to your home, isn't it? The vacation cannot last forever. So that's the problem in going to the heavenly planets. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas. So why is adhering to the principle of three Vedas is seeking only sense enjoyment? We have discussed previously how the Vedas give knowledge in a certain progression. No? The initial section of the Vedas is talking about karma kanda, sense gratificatory activities, what you should do to satisfy the senses, but within the framework of Shastra. So that is what is the initial section of the Vedas dedicated to. Only in the last part, no, the final section of Vedas talk about pure devotional service. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the last masterpiece that Vyasadeva composed that talks about pure devotional service. That's why the Srimad Bhagavatam is called as the Amala Purana, the spotless Purana, because it only talks about pure devotional service. It does not talk about any kind of material sense gratification. It doesn't talk about karma kanda. It doesn't talk about material religiosity. What is material religiosity? Material religiosity means to engage in some religious activities, but for material benefits. So that is called material religiosity. So yes, the other Puranas, they have some tinge of material religiosity mentioned in them, but Srimad Bhagavatam is pure devotional service. That's why it is called Amala Purana, and it is the final masterpiece that Vyasadeva composed after he composed so much other Vedic literature. No? He composed the Vedas, the Mahabharata, the Puranas, the Upanishads, and he also composed the Vedanta Sutra, which is a natural commentary of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So anyway, so that's why here Krishna is saying, those who seek sense gratification, sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas, what do they achieve? They achieve only repeated birth and death. So yes, heaven is great, but only as long as it can last. Then eventually we have to come back. So there is repeated birth and death. And we already discussed how birth and death are very, very painful for the living entity. Yeah, Shivani, you have your hand raised.
Just one question. Can we do something that from the heavenly planet we can go back to Godhead and not come back down here?
Yes, you can engage in devotional service, and then from there you can get an upgrade and you can go higher. But you have to always remember that in the heavenly planets, although it is possible, see, bhakti can be done anywhere, anytime, any place, under any circumstances. There is no place where you cannot do bhakti. So even in the heavenly planets, you can do, it is possible, but it is less probable because there is so much sense gratification there that one tends to forget to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although it is possible, it is not so probable. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
You're welcome. So what is the disadvantage of heavenly planets as the goal? One has to come back to the earth. One is in the cycle of birth and death after exhausting the pious deeds, after exhausting the punya karma. So the analogy of this is like the Ferris wheel. This Ferris wheel is compared to cycle of birth and death. You're up, then you have to go down, then again up and again down. So when are we going to end the cycle of birth and death? So what is the solution? Do not seek higher material happiness. Seek higher than material happiness. So if you're seeking heaven, you're seeking only higher material happiness. But that is not the ultimate solution. The ultimate solution is to seek higher than material happiness. So what is higher than material happiness is going to the spiritual world. So make spiritual world as your goal. Let's go to 22.
Ananyaschintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham.
Translation: But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have.
See, this is a very, very endearing, heart-touching verse, heart-touching statement by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. What is he saying? That those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, ananyas chintayanto. There is no other chinta, there is no other concentration, there is nothing else on your mind. Ananyas, nothing else is there. He's just, the devotee is only focusing on Krishna. So those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, Krishna is saying, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So yes, we have many shortcomings. We may lack many things. But if one is sincere, if one is worshipping Krishna with exclusive devotion, whatever we may be lacking, Krishna will provide. Krishna will provide whatever we are lacking. Not only that, he also preserves what we have. So we may have accumulated some credits. No, we may have done some devotional service. Sometimes we may have done some devotional service even unknowingly. Even just eating prasad is if somebody is an atheist, but he has eaten prasad at his friend's house. Now he doesn't know what is prasad, but he has eaten prasad, so he has some devotional service in his spiritual bank balance, which he has done unknowingly. So Krishna is saying that whatever you have, he is going to preserve it. See, there are two things that we fear. Mostly we fear losing what we have, and we also fear that we may want something in the future, and probably in the future we may not have it. For example, why do we save? We save money so that probably in the old age, or in case one has a disease, then one needs the money. So we like to save. So what is the fear? That in the future I may require it, I may not have it. And another fear that we have is losing what we already have. So we like to insure our homes, our businesses, and our cars, etc., because we don't want to lose what we already have. So here is Krishna's insurance policy. He's saying, I carry what you lack and preserve what you have. But what is the condition? One should worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form. Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. This is a very, very famous verse. It's called as a Yoga Kshema. If you just Google Yoga Kshema verse, you will be able to see this verse. It's very, very famous. See here what we discussed. Generally, we have two genuine fears: losing what we possess, theft, fraud, disaster, and unavailability of what we need. Example, health insurance and old age. So Krishna assures two things in this verse: provision and protection. When he says that I preserve what you have, he is talking about his protection. And when he says that I carry what you lack, he's assuring us that he will provide for us when we lack something. So Krishna, basically, he's not saying that you have to do the best. No, he's here acknowledging that yes, we may be lacking in so many things. So Krishna is saying that you don't do the best, you do your best. This is what is expected from us. Why? We don't have to become this 100% perfect person. That's not what Krishna expects from us. Krishna wants us to sincerely try to follow to our best. If we do our best, then Krishna will do the rest. That's why he says, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So real life insurance comes from Krishna, showing his personal intervention and personal care for his devotees. See, with regard to this, Srila Prabhupada gives an example, very nice example. He talks about Arjunacharya. He was writing a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, and he scratched out this word Vahami. Vahamyaham, we saw in this verse, no? See. Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. Vahami means he carries. Vahamyaham, which means I carry. So Krishna is saying that I carry. So here, Arjunacharya, he thought that how is it possible that Krishna personally carries what we lack? Probably he's sending his agents. So he scratched out this word Vahami and he wrote Karomi. He inserted the word Karomi, saying that Krishna gets it done via his agents. So with regard to this, Srila Prabhupada explains. Let's hear.
There was a great devotee. So when he was writing commentaries on this particular verse, Ananna Chintantamang Jidana Purjupasate Tesang Nikta Vijuktanam Yoga Chemang Mahamyaham. He saw that Tesang Nikta Vijuktanam Yoga Chemang Mahamyaham. The Lord says that I myself take the burden and take the load on my head, and I deliver that to my devotees what they require. He doesn't require to go outside. I myself go and deliver the goods, whatever he requires. This is written here. Now that's Arjunacharya. When he was writing commentaries, he thought, how is that? the Lord will come himself and deliver the goods. Oh, it is not possible. He might be sending through some agent. So he wanted to cut Bahami Aham. I bear the burden and deliver. He wrote in a way that I send some agent who will deliver. So that Arjunacharya went to take bath, and in the meantime, two boys, very beautiful boys, they brought some very nice food stuff, very large, in large quantity. And in India, there is a process to taking two sides burden on the bamboo, just like a scale. It is balanced. So these two boys brought some very highly valuable food stuff and grains and ghee and everything. And his wife was there. And the boy said, "My dear mother, Arjunacharya has sent these goods to you. Please take delivery." And oh, you are so nice boy, you are so beautiful boys, and he has given, and Acharya is not so cruel. How is that? He has given so much burden to you, and he is not kind enough. Oh, I was not taking, just see, he has bitten me. Here is his cane, mark. His wife became very much astonished that Acharya is not so cruel. How he has become so cruel? So she was thinking in that way. Then all right, my dear boy, so come on, and gave him shelter. And no, I shall go because Arjunacharya didn't come, he will chastise us. No, you sit down, take food stuff. He prepared food stuff, and then they went. And when Arjunacharya came back, then he saw that his wife is eating, because it is the system of an Indian family that after the husband has taken the food, the wife will take. So they don't take together. After the family members, the boys and the husband is sumptuous to fed, then the housewife takes. So Arjunacharya said, "Oh, you are taking food? Why? What is that?" Wife said, "Acharya, you have become so much cruel nowadays. What is that? Two boys, very nice boys, they brought so many good stuff. You loaded on their head, and they denied to take it, and you have bitten them." I just said, "No, I have never done this. What shall I do?" Then she described, oh, such a nice, beautiful boy. Then Arjunacharya understood that because I wanted that God does not deliver, so he has delivered these ghosts. And because I cut these alphabets that he does not give personally, so he has shown us beating mark. There is an incident in southern India of Jonanacharya. That story is there. Here, the Lord says that I personally deliver. So, those who are in Krishna consciousness, those are actually busy in the matter of discharging their duties as a Krishna conscious person, they may be assured that so far their living condition is concerned or their comforts of life is concerned, that is assured by the Lord. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Subscribe.
So we see how Krishna is saying that he personally provides for his devotees that which they may be lacking. There are many, many examples. If you speak to devotees, they can tell you how this is so true from their own personal experience. Now let's take Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada went to the West, of course, he was sincere. He wanted to execute the instruction of his spiritual master. His spiritual master gave him the instruction to spread the holy name in the Western world, to preach in the English language in the Western world. Now he was on the verge of his 70th birthday when he boarded the Jaladuta, the ship. He was given a free ticket. So he boarded the Jaladuta and he suffered 2 massive heart attacks on the boat itself. And he was suffering from seasickness, vomiting. And then after a very difficult journey, he finally landed in the US. He had no money. He had only $7, no, an Indian equivalent of $7 in his pocket. He had no contacts. He had no health. He didn't have health on his side. He didn't even have age. He didn't even have youth on his side. But of course, Srila Prabhupada had a sincere desire to execute the instruction of his spiritual master. Now, whatever Srila Prabhupada was lacking, Krishna provided him, isn't it? Then money started to flow, followers started to flow. The young boys and girls were ready to leave their families, join Srila Prabhupada, serve him eternally, and they gave up all their bad habits and they completely surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. And like that, Srila Prabhupada was able to establish this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. Actually, when Srila Prabhupada registered ISKCON, there was nothing international about it. He just had a few handful of boys with him, that's it. There was nothing international about ISKCON when he registered the name of this organization. But we see how Krishna provided with Srila Prabhupada all that he required. So like that, Krishna says that when you are his devotee, then personally Krishna is taking care of his devotee, not through somebody else. He personally takes care of the requirements. So there are some examples. Okay, Shivani, I see your hand is raised. You have a question?
No, Mataji, sorry, he's from before. I'm sorry.
Okay. So another example is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was not allowed inside the Jagannath temple. So Jagannath Puri temple, only Indian-born Hindus are allowed. That's the rule and regulation of that particular temple. So Haridas Thakur was not allowed inside the temple, but Lord Chaitanya, who is none other than Lord Jagannath, would personally bring different varieties of delicious Mahaprasadam of Jagannath temple for Haridas Thakur. And he used to make sure that Haridas Thakur ate it. So see, Haridas Thakur, because his birth was not in a Hindu family, he was not allowed to enter the temple. But now Lord Jagannath himself, that is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, who's none other than Krishna, he is personally bringing the Jagannath Mahaprasad is very famous, no? So he is personally bringing every single day, he would take Mahaprasad from the Jagannath temple and give it to Haridas Thakur and make sure that he ate it. So again, Krishna is providing whatever he lacked. Another example.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I saw the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? The picture, just you had.
This is
He-
Haridas Thakur.
So sorry, Haridas Thakur. Did we have those bags at that time?
Yes, Haridas Star, definitely, yes, yes.
That
Because-
bag for chanting bag?
Yes, this was just 500 years back, no?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked the planet just 500 years ago, that's all.
Now I'm talking about the bag in the picture.
Yes, it was there, yes. Sometimes they would use a handkerchief, maybe, to
Oh, okay.
tie it with a cloth, but it was
Okay.
always inside a cloth.
Oh, okay.
It was probably in this form or probably some other form, some variation, but it was definitely used, cloth was used to protect the beads.
Okay.
Okay, another example is Mrigari. When Narada Muni, we discussed the story of Mrigari the hunter, no, who would half kill the animals. So when Narada Muni told him to give up killing of these animals, that time he said that, but how will I, if I give up my hunting, how will I maintain myself and my family? That time the great sage replied, you don't worry, once you take shelter of the Lord, then you will not be deprived of any necessities of life. Mrigari gave up his sinful profession, became a devotee, and the Lord made sure that his needs are well taken care of. So what happened was, because Mrigari underwent a complete transformation and he became a saintly man. He genuinely became a saintly man. It was not a show. He genuinely became saintly. So people in the village were coming and giving him food. No, they were giving him and his family enough food, and he was receiving much more than what his family required. So see, again, Krishna says that if you surrender unto me, I carry what you lack. Then this example of when the Pandavas were in exile and Durvasa Muni had visited them, and Durvasa had visited them with 10,000 disciples, no? And Draupadi had already eaten. Draupadi had this Akshay Patra, a pot, a divine pot in which the food would multiply. But when Draupadi would eat, then that multiplication of the food would stop. So that day Draupadi had already eaten and there was no food in the house. And Durvasa was about to visit them with 10,000 of his disciples. And now, how are they going to serve him? And Durvasa Muni was known for his anger. No, he would curse. As soon as he was angry, he would curse. So they were like in a fix now. What are we going to do? So that time, of course, again, Krishna came to the rescue. He just ate that one grain of rice that was stuck to one corner of the pot. And as soon as he ate it, Durvasa and all his disciples were feeling full. No, the hunger had gone. So they never came to the hut of the Pandavas. So 9.22 answers the question that people often ask. If I devote myself to Lord, will He provide for my needs? But to understand His provision, we first need to understand His vision. Now, what is Krishna's provision? Krishna's provision for us is to attain eternal joy. That means is Bhakti Yoga, which is the easiest way to rise from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness. So what does Krishna want for us? He wants that we can eternally be joyful. And the only way by which we can experience eternal joy is by engaging in bhakti. So additionally, while we are in material existence, He provides for our material needs too. When He provides heat, light, air, water, food for all living beings, even those who are not devoted to Him, won't He provide for His devotees? So Krishna is already providing our needs, no? Food, water, air, light, heat, everything is there. When somebody is hospitalized and one is given oxygen, then one has to pay a substantial amount of money for the use of that oxygen. But so many years of our life, we are using so much oxygen that is freely available. But we don't pay a bill for the oxygen that we are using. Or the water. Water is also a free resource. It is available in the rivers. One can use the river water for drinking, cleaning, washing, everything. Light, He is providing us heat and light in the form of the sun. So and food, one can just sow some grains and the provision is there that it will grow into a tree and you can get your food from that, from those crops, isn't it? So He is already providing heat, light, air, water, food for all the living entities. So this He's providing even for those who are not His devotees. So will He not provide for His devotees? Of course He will, as the Bhagavad Gita 9.22 assures. But just as a doctor may temporarily restrict patients from some food to expedite treatment, sometimes Krishna may temporarily withhold some things from us to expedite our spiritual recovery. So sometimes we may say, oh, but then if I am a devotee, but still why am I going through some suffering? Is because sometimes we have to go through that suffering in order to get purification. For our own purification, sometimes we have to go through some anxiety, some difficulties. So that just like how a doctor may sometimes restrict the patient from eating a certain kind of food so that the person can be cured of his disease. Another example of this where Krishna provides what you lack is this. Who's this lady? She is a fruit seller and Krishna wanted some fruits. And in exchange, he was bringing some grains because that time there was barter system. He was bringing some grains from the house. But by the time he was bringing the grains would reach her, his hand was almost empty, no, because his hands are very, very tiny. But still the fruit seller gave him as many fruits as he wanted because she fell in love with him, no? She was completely enchanted by Krishna. So what did Krishna do in return? He filled her basket with precious jewels. Who's this?
Is it Manthara?
Not Mantra.
Kubja.
Kubja, yes, Kubja, no? She was in the kingdom of
Kans.
Yes, in the kingdom of Kamsa. So which place is this? What geographical location? Where did this pastime happen?
Where Krishna was born.
Where Krishna appeared. So what's the name? It starts with an M.
Mathura.
Mathura, yes, Mathura. So Krishna and Balaram have entered Mathura and there they come across Kubja, who was a woman with a hunchback. And she was carrying sandalwood paste for the king actually, but she gave it to Krishna. So by serving Krishna without any ulterior motive, she has pleased Krishna. In return, what did Krishna do? He he removed her hunch and she became a very, very beautiful woman. In fact, after that incident, Krishna even went to her house and completely purified her. What star is this?
Dhruv?
Dhruv, yes, the pole star, isn't it? What was Dhruv's desire? Dhruv said, I want a kingdom even greater than that of Lord Brahma. So did he get it? Did he get a kingdom
Yes.
even greater than that of
Yes.
Lord Brahma?
Yes.
Yeah. See, Lord Brahma's kingdom is the highest within the material universe. It's the highest in the 14 planetary systems. But how is Dhruva Loka better than even Brahma Loka? Is because it is a spiritual planet in the material world. Even Brahma Loka is destroyed when there is complete annihilation. But Dhruva Loka is a spiritual planet within the material universe. So it never gets destroyed.
So do we go to those lokas after death, or
So you go to the loka depending on what you deserve and what you desire.
this? Okay.
Yeah. Which loka you go to depends on what you deserve and what you desire.
Mm.
Who's this?
Putana, no?
Putana. Yes, Putana. So what is a service that she did for Krishna?
He fed him milk.
She gave him her milk. Although it was poison milk, although it was with bad intentions that she fed Krishna her milk, still what Krishna does is he sees the good and he ignores the bad. So because she rendered some devotional service to Krishna, she gave him her milk. What did Krishna give her in return?
The position of his mother and his loka.
Yes, the position of his mother. So Putana has given the position of his mother in the spiritual world. So you see how Krishna carries what we lack and preserve what we have. Who's this?
Bhavandev.
Vamana Dev and
Mahabali.
Mahabali or Bali Maharaj. No, now Bali Maharaj gave everything. He surrendered everything to Vaman Dev. So what did he get in return?
He's Sutala.
The Sutala planet. Yes, very nice. The Sutala planet. So what is so special about the Sutala planet?
Lord Vishnu guards the kingdom.
Exactly. He himself is personally guarding there as a guard outside. He is guarding that particular planet, Sutala planet. Once Ravan went to attack Sutala, and then what did Vamanadev do? Vamanadev kicked him with the toenail of his leg and he sent him flying several miles away. Then one more example of the Lord's loving protection. Once Raghunath Das Goswami, he was chanting, he was completely absorbed in his chanting. And the sun was beating down. It was very, very hot. So Srimati Radharani personally came there and she kept her cloth above him to protect him from the hot sun. So as she was doing this, she was protecting Raghunath Das Goswami. Sanatan Goswami happened to come there. And he saw what was happening and he was confused and didn't know what to do. Srimati Radharani noticed him, smiled at him, and then disappeared. Sanatan Goswami then described to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami what he had just seen. He told him that they were trying to serve Srimati Radharani and get her mercy, but by sitting in the scorching sun, he is forcing her to come to serve him. When Srila Raghunath Das Goswami saw Srimati Radharani's footprints behind him in the muddy ground, he rolled on the footprints of Srimati Radharani crying like a child. Srila Sanatan Goswami consoled him with the help of some devotees, quickly made a small cottage, kutir, for Raghunath Das Goswami, so he will not have to chant in the hot sun. From that time, the bhajan kutir system started. So previously, they would just chant in the open air, no? But after this incident, because Sanatan Goswami said that we should not disturb their lordships, we are supposed to serve them. But like this, we are forcing them to come and serve us. So therefore, to avoid them, they started the system of bhajan kutir, where they will chant inside their bhajan kutir.
So who was Sanatana Goswami?
So Sanatana Goswami was a direct disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay. And Raghunath Goswami is his
Also, yeah, there are 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They were disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they are the 6 Goswamis, 2 of the 6. So here is another example of Raghunath Das Goswami being sheltered by Srimati Radharani at Radha Kunda. So if you go to Vrindavan Dham, You can visit this Radha Kund and you can see this exact space. And then there is another story of how once Krishna himself had appeared to protect him from the tigers. There were tigers who were drinking water by the river, in the same river where he was sitting. But he was so absorbed in his chanting that he didn't realize, he didn't even notice. So Krishna himself came there and he protected him from the tigers. So another example of how Krishna personally protects his devotees, personally, not through anybody else, personally. Another example, Srimati Radharani appears for Sri Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is another one of the 6 Goswamis. So see this, one day Srila Rupa Goswami desired to serve Kheer Prasadam to Srila Sanatan Goswami, but there were no ingredients for cooking. Then Srimati Radharani came to fulfill his desire in the guise of a milkmaid and brought milk, rice and sugar for him. She asked him to accept these ingredients and prepare the kheer. However, Srila Rupa Goswami said that he does not know how to prepare the kheer and he requests that the milkmaid prepare the kheer. She accepted his request and prepared the kheer. After that, Srila Rupa Goswami requested her to sit down, but she declined. No, I cannot stay any longer. I have many things to do at home. Saying this, the girl suddenly disappeared. Srila Rupa Goswami was astonished by the girl's sudden departure. While honoring the prasadam, Srila Sanatan Goswami was filled with ecstasy and asked Srila Rupa Goswami, where did you get the rice and milk to cook this prasad? Srila Rupa Goswami said, one young milkmaid brought it to me. Srila Sanatan Goswami questioned, did she suddenly appear before you? Yes, Rupa Goswami replied. This morning when I was thinking that I would like to prepare some prasadam for you, a girl suddenly arrived with a gift of rice and milk. Hearing this, Srila Sanatan Goswami began to cry and told Srila Rupa Goswami, who could have supplied something with such an excellent taste other than Srimati Radharani? So she has personally come, provided the ingredients and personally prepared kheer for the devotees. Let's go to 23.
येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम्.
Translation. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way.
So those who are worshipping the other gods, no, the other devatas, Krishna is saying, Anya Devata Bhakta. If one is worshipping anybody else other than Krishna, Krishna is saying, and how are they worshipping? With Shraddha, with faith they are worshipping. Actually, Krishna is saying that they are actually worshipping me only. So those who are worshipping the other devatas are also worshipping only Krishna, irrespective of whether they accept Krishna or not. So what is the problem? But Krishna is saying they do so in a wrong way. Avidhi purvakam. Avidhi. Vidhi means, see, when we say vidhi purvak, which means by following all the rules and regulations in the proper way, in the appropriate way, everything was finished. No, we say that vidhi purvak. But here Krishna is saying avidhi purvakam. So they are doing it, they are worshipping me, but they are worshipping me in the wrong way. Avidhi purvakam. This is important to remember. See, sometimes the Bhagavad Gita commentators who are not bona fide, no, who want to put across a message, who twist the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita and present what they want to present, when they discuss this particular verse, they stop with this. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me. They stop there. They do not, they just completely ignore this avidhi purvakam. This Sanskrit word avidhi purvakam, they just ignore and they stop. Why? Because they just want to say that doesn't matter whom you worship, ultimately you're worshipping only Krishna. But they do not explain that Krishna is saying that, but you are doing it in a wrong way. Now, what is wrong and why it is wrong? Krishna will explain in the next verse. Let's see.
अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते.
Translation. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down.
So what is Krishna saying? That he is the only enjoyer and master of all the sacrifices. Sarva yajnanam, of all the yagyas. He is the bhokta, he is the enjoyer, he is the Prabhu, he is the master. So of all the yagyas that are done, of all the sacrifices that are done, Krishna is saying, I am the only enjoyer and the master. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature, if you do not recognize Krishna, and you're worshipping other demigods, and Krishna says, then what happens to such people? They fall down. So this is the problem. They will fall down, Krishna is saying. Now, why will they fall down? Let us see.
यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितॄन्यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम्.
Translation: Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me.
So why they will fall down is because if one worships the devatas, then you will take birth among the devatas. Now the devatas are not situated in the spiritual world. The devatas are still present in the material world. Swarga Loka, the abode of the devatas, demigod, it is still very much in the material world. So this is the reason why Krishna wants us to achieve the highest destination. He doesn't want us to achieve higher destination, but the highest destination. So this is the thing. Those who worship the demigods will take birth amongst the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors, those who worship the pitras, say pitrin, those who worship the pitras, the ancestors, they will go to the planet of the ancestors. There's a pitra loka. No? Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. But those who worship me, Krishna says, will live with me. So this is the highest destination.
But don't we thank the ancestors? We do the puja for every year during that time, right? Amavasi. So that's not considered as worshipping them.
No, that is your material duty to do the final rites and the yearly ceremony, no? But yeah, but when you do your material duties, you must always keep in mind what is the position, no? What is the position of Krishna? What is the position of the devatas? What is the position of the ancestors? We should know, we should worship them in the right position. That's the point.
Okay.
So, for example, there is a Bollywood song about Lord Ganesh, no? What's that song? Deva ho Deva, Ganpati Deva, tumse badkar kaun. So, we should understand that that song says that there is nobody higher than Lord Ganesh. So that is not worshipping Lord Ganesh in the correct position of Lord Ganesh. Even Lord Ganesh will not like it that we are saying that there is no one higher than you. This is why this is a Bollywood song. It's not a bona fide glorification of Lord Ganesh. If you see bona fide glorifications, then it's different because then they are worshipped in the correct position like that. Okay, so even the gopis, they would worship Katyayani Devi, who's a form of Durga. But their worship to Katyayani Devi was, we want to have Krishna as a husband. So you can worship the devatas, but in their correct position. And the highest form of that worship is the goal should be Krishna, like that. Like how the gopis, their goal was, I want to have Krishna as my husband, like that. Okay.
So when we chant Rudram, do you know Rudram? Rudram, it's Shiva. So then we will go to Shivalok.
Yes. Whomever you worship, that planet you will go to.
Okay.
What Krishna is saying, those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods.
Okay.
So not all worship leads us to the same goal. Many people would say that, no, any worship will take you ultimately, everybody sabka destination ek hi hai, sabko ek hi jagah pe jana. But Krishna is saying that is not the case. If you worship the demigods, you go to the demigods. If you worship the ancestors, you go to the ancestors. If you worship ghosts, some people worship ghosts and spirits, no, they do kind of black magic and all these kind of in the graveyards, they do some pujas and all that stuff. So that is worshiping the ghosts and the spirits. So they will take birth among such beings. See,
One
here,
more question.
what's that?
Sorry. So what So what happens if you chant both, like Narayana Kavach and Rudram? Rudram is for Shiva. What will happen?
Yeah, so when you do both, where is your emotion? Where is your consciousness? That will determine what is your
Both
destiny.
I do sincerely.
Yeah,
So
so
I will
you have
go.
to, yeah, so you remember correctly what is the position of Lord Shiva and what is the position of Lord Krishna.
Now I know the position. I was thinking Lord Shiva as same level as Krishna, but now I know Lord Shiva is also considered as demigod, right?
Yeah, Lord Shiva is like we discussed now previously how it is described in the Brahma Samhita. The only difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva is the difference between milk and yogurt. From milk you can make yogurt, but from yogurt you cannot make milk. This is how Brahma describes Lord Shiva in the Brahma Samhita. He compares Krishna and Shiva to milk and yogurt. So because Lord Shiva is coming in touch with material nature, so we know that at the time of creation, Lord Shiva and Durga unite. No, we have discussed this previously. So because Lord Shiva is coming in touch with material nature, he's touching material nature. Therefore, he is not the supreme personality of God. He's almost God, no, but he's not God. That is a position of Lord Shiva. But of course, Lord Shiva is the supreme Vaishnava. The Bhagavatam says, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. So which means Lord Shambhu or Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. This is the supreme exalted position of Lord Shiva. The Bhagavatam describes, you can Google it also, you can see Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. It is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That statement is there. Okay, so coming back to our verse, the worship of the demigods will take so worship of the demigods is the mode of goodness. No, we have sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna. So worship of demigods is sattva guna. Worship of the ancestors is in the mode of passion, rajoguna. Worship of the ghosts and spirits is in the mode of ignorance, tamoguna. And then worship of Krishna is in the transcendental mode of goodness. It's in the Shuddha Sattva stage. It's beyond the three modes of material nature. Yeah, so Sri Radhe Hari, you have a question?
So if you worship Srila Prabhupada and or worship Srila Prabhupada's disciple, would you go after that wherever Prabhupada is or wherever his disciple goes?
So Srila Prabhupada said that the bona fide guru is with Krishna. So if you worship a bona fide guru, you will go to Krishna because he is there only with Krishna.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
I didn't understand. You said the ancestors. What is the who are they? I mean, what planet is that?
Pitra Loka. There is a planet called Pitra Loka where all the ancestors are there for a certain period of time. They undergo certain purificatory processes if required, or if the next body is not yet ready. So it's a planet where they reside temporarily until the next body is ready or until their next destination is ready, like that.
So if one goes there, then they will come back to this world again, right?
Yes, most definitely.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. When water is offered to the river itself will go to the ocean, but that does not mean the worshipper goes to the ocean, because Krishna is saying that all the worship reaches me. No, so all the worship, even if we worship the devatas or whatever worship we do, everything reaches Krishna. But the worshipper himself will not reach Krishna. The worship is reaching Krishna, but not the worshipper. So in the same way, when water is offered to the river, the water itself will go to the ocean, but that does not mean that the worshipper goes to the ocean. Similarly, the worship of the demigods reaches Krishna, but the worshipper does not. So worship of any form or any path does not lead to the same goal. This is a big misconception that people have in general. No, worship of any form or any path does not lead to the same goal, because Krishna is saying, if you worship demigods, you go to the planet of demigods. You worship the ancestors, you go to the planet of the ancestors, like that. See, there are three levels of existence: terrestrial, celestial, and transcendental. Terrestrial is the material level of existence, the earthly level of existence. Celestial is the heavenly planets. It's a higher material level of existence. It is material level of existence, but it is a higher. material level of existence. But transcendental is the spiritual level of existence, higher than material level of existence, which means it is beyond the material world. So the transcendental realm is the spiritual realm. Here, these are the 14 planetary systems within our universe. Now there are millions of universes, and the description given in the Bhagavatam is of our universe. So our universe has 14 planetary systems. We are here in the middle, and we can see that Satyaloka or Lord Brahma is here. So this is material existence. This is higher than material existence, but this is the highest material existence. So beyond this universe is here you have the Vaikuntha planets, and beyond the Vaikuntha planets, here you have the Goloka. So spiritual world is in the form of a lotus. The petals of the lotus are the Vaikuntha planets, where the Lord is residing in his four-handed Vishnu form. And in Goloka, Krishna is residing eternally as a 16-year-old boy.
So when we worship Krishna, we will go to that Vaikuntha or Goloka?
Yeah, so that depends on which form of the Lord you are more attracted to. Now, when you say Krishna, there are many Vishnu tattvas, like Narasimha Dev is there, Vaman Dev is there. If you're more attracted to the Narayan form of the Lord, then you go to the Vaikuntha planets. No, so in these Vaikuntha planets, there's a planet for Lord Narasimha, there is a planet for Vamana, like that. But if you're attracted to Krishna, then you go to Goloka. So it depends on what you desire and what you deserve. Not only Goloka, Vaikuntha, but anywhere in this whole existence, you go depending on what you desire and what you deserve. Two things. Okay.
Oh.
For example, one may be attracted to Lord Ramachandra. No, one may not have so much attraction for Krishna, but one has attraction for Lord Ram. For example, Hanuman. Now, where do you think Hanuman wants to reside? He wants to reside in Ayodhya, or he wants to reside in Vrindavan? Where do you think he wants to go?
Ayodhya.
Definitely no. So even in this Goloka also, there is a separate section where Lord Ramachandra is a say. I'm zooming here. You can see Ayodhya Dham. Can you see?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
Here,
I also see
Ayodhya Dham.
Sri. Okay, so Sri Radha is there, right?
Yes. No, here. See, here you have Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Then you have Mathura Dham, Dwarka Dham. So if you're attracted to that form of Krishna where he's a king, no, Krishna and Dwarka lived as a king. Krishna and Vrindavan is all about sweet pastimes, no? The killing of the demons and all these sweet pastimes, him stealing the butter, his pastimes with Yashoda, etc. So that is here, Goloka. So what aspect of Krishna you're attracted to, that will determine which part of Goloka you go to. So if you're attracted, for example, Hanuman wants to reside here in Ayodhya Dham. He's not interested in going to Goloka. He's not attracted to this form of the Lord where he is there as Krishna. He's attracted to the Lord in the form of Lord Sri Ramachandra. So he will go here. He definitely deserves to go to Goloka or anywhere actually, anywhere in the spiritual world, he definitely deserves, because he is the perfect servant of the Lord. But his desire is to be here. So
even in Krishna Loka, there is separation, like Ayodhya Dhama.
yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
you can see here, there are divisions here. In the
So
periphery
what is that
of
Vasudeva?
Golok Vrindavan, you have these other separations.
There is Vasudeva too, right? Oh, Vasudeva is also, okay, Krishna is different.
That is here in the Vaikuntha Loka. Vasudeva is more the Narayan expansion. See here, Narayan expansion. You can see here Narasimha Dev is there. I cannot
No,
zoom
I
in
see
more.
in Krishna Loka Vasudeva, just above that, Shankara.
Oh, these are the 4 quadruple expansions of Krishna.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
Krishna's expansion, Balaram, and then we have the 4 quadruple expansions. See the first quadruple expansion, Vasudev, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, and Aniruddha. So these are also
Okay.
still in the spiritual world only, these expansions.
Okay.
So you have Baladev like that. See here you have Matsya avatar, here you have Varahadev, here you have Narasimhadev. So here the Lord is residing in the 4-handed form. So what is the difference? This is the Aishwarya Dham. Here the opulence of the Lord is more prominent. Here the residents are aware that Krishna is God. So the relationship between the residents here and the Lord is that of reverence. No, there is a formality in the relationship. But
Oh.
those who are here in Goloka, the relationship is informal. Here, the residents forget that Krishna is God. So Krishna is playing his pastimes, his leelas. No, the Gopa friends, the residents, they are climbing on Krishna's back. They are sharing lunch boxes together. So here there is informality in the relationship. So therefore, there is more intimacy in Goloka than there is in Vaikuntha. And here you can see Kailasha.
Oh,
It's in between the spiritual and material worlds.
okay, okay.
Yes, and here you can see Mahavishnu.
Uh-huh.
Mahavishnu is Krishna's first expansion in the material world. So here, this demarcates the material world. So he's breathing and creating universes by his breathing. You can see all these bubbles are different universes. And one amongst these many millions of universes, because from each pore of his skin, a whole universe is created. And Mahavishnu's body is huge, very, very big. And imagine how many pores are there on his body. So that many universes. And one of those many universes is our universe. And our universe has 14 planetary systems. Okay.
Is it a dimension or planetary system? Different dimension that
Planetary
14
systems. There is a planetary system, and within the planetary system, then there are different islands, different dweepas, like that.
Okay.
So here you can see another picture. This is the spiritual world in the form of the lotus, and one corner of the spiritual sky is the material world. It's like a dark cloud in one corner of the spiritual sky. So all these millions of planets that are coming from the breathing of Mahavishnu, all that consist of one tiny corner, one dark corner of the spiritual world. Shivani, your hand is raised.
One question just so from Kailash also we don't come back, right? Only from the demigods and the Pitraloka we will come back to earth. Take birth. But once we go to Golok Dham or Kailash and all those higher planets, then we don't come
No,
back.
Kailash is in between. It's in between. Here also you can get an upgrade if you engage in devotional service. But if you don't engage in devotional service, you can come back. And there is one Sadashiva also in the Vaikuntha Loka. It's not there in this picture, but the Srimad Bhagavatam describes. There is one Sadashiva, one form of Lord Shiva in the Vaikuntha planets also. So if you are going to that Shiva Loka of the Vaikuntha planet, then yes, you do not come now. Okay. There are at least 11 forms, 11 Rudras are there. 11 Rudras are there. But we don't have much information about them. There is very...
I saw Buddha also there in Vaikuntha.
Yes, here. Yes.
So Buddha is there. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so you will go to Buddha. Okay, if you worship Buddha, then you will go there. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So in the heavenly planets, one doesn't add to one's credit, one only exhausts credit. So when one is on a vacation, one is not going to work. So there is no income being generated. We are only spending the money. So in the same in the heavenly planets, we cannot add to our credits. We are only exhausting the credits. But when we are on earth, then we can accumulate credits.
Okay.
So for example, if one is in the middle of an ocean, right? And one does not want to be tossed in the waves of that ocean. One finds an iceberg and can go and sit on the iceberg. So one can sit there comfortably without being tossed in the waves of the ocean. But how long can one enjoy sitting on that iceberg without being in the ocean? As long as the iceberg remains, no? Once the iceberg melts, then one is again tossed into the ocean. So like that, as long as one's good karmas last, we can enjoy in the heavenly planets. But then once it gets exhausted, then we have to again come back to this turbulent terrestrial region. So intelligence is, do not seek higher material happiness, seek higher than material happiness.
What is higher than material happiness? We only know material happiness now, right?
Yeah, higher than material happiness is spiritual world, no?
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what we are. Okay.
That's what we should seek.
Yeah.
Okay. You are a part and parcel of the Supreme Proprietor Krishna. Therefore, you deserve eternal, everlasting happiness. So this is what we deserve. Now, by settling for anything less than that which is less eternal is foolishness. So it's a bad deal to settle for something less than what you deserve. For example, if you're selling an apartment and the apartment value has a certain value and you sell for lesser than the market value, then it is foolishness, isn't it? So if we settle for anything less than eternal everlasting happiness, then that is foolishness, because we do not deserve something that is temporary. It is going for something lesser than the best. So do not cheat yourself. Do not deprive yourself. Do not underutilize your potential. Do not sell yourself short. If the best is possible for you, why accept something less? This is intelligence. Don't seek comfort of a temporary situation. Seek comfort of a spiritual destination. So see, if when we seek to go to Krishna, this you can see this living entity, he's entering the spiritual world. Here he's being embraced personally by Krishna. He's being welcomed by the other residents of Goloka. What can be more blissful than that? In the spiritual world, there are desire trees. There are desire trees. Whatever you want, you just ask the desire tree and the desire tree will give it to you. Here, if you want to eat anything, let's say you want to have a nice Indian meal, you have to go and prepare, or you have to go and purchase, you have to pay money for that, and for that money you have worked hard. But in the spiritual world, whatever you want, you just ask for the desire tree and it will be given to you. The fruits in the spiritual world are seedless and skinless. For example, the mangoes, there is no skin on the mango and there is no seed in the mango, just the ripe pulp is available. You just pluck and you can enjoy. There are Surabhi cows who give unlimited supply of milk, who give unlimited supply of milk. So nothing in the material world is even close to the bliss that one can enjoy in the spiritual world.
There also we are still enjoying with our senses, right?
Yeah, but those senses are transcendental senses. That's different.
Okay.
They are not material senses. They are spiritual. And there also we are serving the Lord. No, there also we are serving the Lord.
Okay.
Okay, so we will stop here. We will continue in the next class. This is the last section of this chapter. So hopefully in the next class, if Krishna so sanctions, we will finish up the chapter. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. Jai.
Mataji, I have a question on text 15 where you said ekavattvena, which is oneness with God.
Yes.
Did that, and then you said another thing, like you said a word that starts with P.
Prathakvena.
Praktavena, what does that mean?
Prathakvena. Prathakvena is demigod worship. What we just discussed today.
Okay, so yeah, in the notes you mentioned Ektavena, Prathakvena, and then there was another thing.
Vishvatomukham.
And what does that mean, Vishvatamutta?
Vishvatomukha means universal form, worshipping the universal form.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have a small doubt.
Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji, regarding that is 9.20, Somarasa is there. Na? Who drinks Somarasa, they will go to these higher planets. But where they will drink that Somarasa?
Yeah, so when the yagyas were done by the bona fide Brahmins, then this Somarasa was made available for them to drink.
But now it is not possible, right?
Now Kali Yuga, it's not possible. No. Now it's not available anymore.
Okay.
And Vaikuntha planet also, if you go, what is the problem? But because we condemn Buddhism also, they also won't come back, right?
Yeah, so see, we have to understand that the Lord Buddha that we know and the Lord Buddha that is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, they are two different personalities. It's not the same. There is a whole article on it. I can share it in the group. It's not the same. And other thing, when you say that we condemn Buddhism, we have to understand that Lord Buddha is recognized as a bona fide avatar. Okay. But he preached that one should not follow the Vedas. So what is Buddha's preaching? That do not follow the Vedas. No. And therefore we do not follow the instructions of Lord Buddha. But why did he preach this? Also, we have to understand, because each preacher preaches according to time, place, and circumstances. So, when Lord Buddha appeared, there was rampant animal killing going on. Why? Because the Brahmanas at that time, they said that the Vedas allow animal killing. Now, animal killing is allowed in the Vedas once a month. The animals were sacrificed in the yagyas, but those brahmanas were highly qualified that they were so highly qualified that they could chant mantras and bring the offered animal back to life. So therefore, the Vedas allow that, okay, once a month you are allowed to offer the animal in the yagyas. But now we don't have such highly qualified brahmanas in Kali Yuga. No brahmana can chant a mantra and bring the animal back to life. Therefore, animal killing is completely prohibited in Kali Yuga. Okay, so when Lord Buddha appeared, there was this rampant animal killing going on the excuse that yes, the Vedas are allowing that animals can be killed in the yagyas, and then they would eat the flesh of the animal and they would enjoy. So therefore, he said, do not follow the Vedas. So he preached like this because of the time, place, and circumstances. Therefore, but now we want to follow the Vedic injunctions, and therefore we do not follow Buddha's instructions, but yes, we accept him as a bona fide avatar.
Okay, Mataji, thank you. Like Sankaracharya.
Yes, Shankaracharya, correct.
I
So,
have
but
a question. Sorry, go ahead.
Vaikuntha, there won't be any problem, right? Vaikuntha, they also won't come back generally, right?
No, they will not come back. There is no problem. Even Vaikuntha is a spiritual world. Vaikuntha also we can enjoy. We can
Only relationship.
only
relationship.
relationship
Which one
is
you want?
relation. What is a relationship that you want to share with the Lord? If you share a formal relationship with the Lord, then you are in Vaikuntha. If you want to share an informal and more intimate relationship with the Lord, then in Goloka. But there is no problem as such.
Yeah. Okay, man. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
I have a question. When we talk about yugas, they say that the whole planetary system is moving around another jyoti or light, right? So in this picture, one of the pictures you were explaining Vishnu in the corner of a place. So is that place actually connected to that? Connected to the yuga?
Let's go to the photo.
It's towards the end.
This one?
Okay, this one. Yeah. This. So you said Krishna's in the corner, right? Sorry, it's Vishnu. Krishna's in the corner.
No, this is Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu's in the corner. So okay. So are we? I don't know how to explain. Are we circling around this, or the whole thing? Maybe I don't know. What are we circling the whole the planetary system?
Okay, so see, okay. Now Mahavishnu is in this corner, right? And he's breathing. Several universes are coming from his body. One of those several universes is our universe. And our universe has 14 planetary systems. And the whole thing, all these things are circling around the pole star, the planet of Lord, the planet of Dhruva.
Okay. So okay. So Dhruva is the pole, so we only circle around Dhruva. Okay.
Everything, all the planetary systems, everything is circling around the pole star.
Okay. So when we connect with the yugas, it's in oval shape. No, it's not.
Not the yugas, the universes are oval shape. Yuga means the time period, na Satya Yuga.
Yeah. So then Satyuga is closer to the God, right? That power, right?
No, what happens is once Kali Yuga ends, Satya Yuga starts again.
Okay.
And when Brahma, this cycle is going on several times, just like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like that. The whole cycle starts rolling again and again. But what happens at the end of Brahma's life, after 100 years of Lord Brahma, all these universes go back into the body of Mahavishnu. And that's the time when he breathes in.
Okay.
So all of us, all the living entities, along with all the universes, everything goes into the body of Mahavishnu. That is his breathing in. And again, when he breathes out, then again all the universes are coming out, all the living entities are coming out, and we carry on from where we left off. Just because we went into the body of Mahavishnu doesn't mean that we have got moksha. We remain there, and when he breathes out, again the whole process is taking place all over again, and we all continue from where we left off.
Or it's not like Satyuga again and this.
Yeah, again Satyuga. Yes, of course, again
First
Satyuga.
time it is Satyuga. Then it goes to
No,
Treta Yuga.
yeah, these yoga cycles are continuously going on during Brahma's lifetime also. And but then when everything goes in the body of Mahavishnu, again there is Satya Yuga. And even during the days of Brahma, there is again Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. It's a continuous cycle going on.
That cycle is in Brahma Yugas, right? That cycle.
That cycle is in the entire material world.
Okay.
All the universes, all the 14 planetary systems, everywhere. Okay.
Mataji, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
So after 100 years, and then Brahma dies, so then what happens to the Brahma? Does somebody new become Brahma, or what happens to him? Or he comes back to earth, or what happens?
Yeah, so what happens, because Brahma is a post. Now, if that particular Lord Brahma, who has completed his cycle as Lord Brahma, if he had engaged in devotional service, he will get an upgrade and he can go to the spiritual world. But if that particular Lord Brahma did not engage in devotional service, which is less probable, it is most probable that because Brahma is the most intelligent living entity, okay? So, yes, it is most probable that he engaged in devotional service, and so did the other residents of Brahma Loka along with him, and so they get an upgrade. But if he did not perform devotional service because he used his free will, remember the living entity has the free will always, at all times, at all places. So if he used his free will and did not engage in devotional service, then he also has to come down. And somebody else who's qualified, he is appointed on the post of Lord Brahma.
So I have one more question. I don't know, I read it somewhere or someone told that we all were Brahma once. Is that true?
Yes, the first body that the living, and there is a statement there in the Bhagavatam, in the 9th canto, where the first body that the living entity gets is that of Brahma. So all of us have been Brahma at least once.
So that means when we were Brahma, we did not attain devotional service, and that's why we're back on this earth, right?
Yes, that's why we are here.
So we also get distracted by Brahma. Also get distracted by other forces, then, right?
Yeah, because the free will is always there. On that minute independence that Jiva always has at all times. So how we use it determines what our destination is. We're going to go up or we're going to come down. And what is the qualification to become Lord Brahma? Who knows? Anybody knows? We have discussed this before.
You have to live a life without committing at least 100 sins.
You have to live 100 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes without perfectly executing Varnashram Dharma. Okay, so of course, when you perfectly execute Varnashram Dharma, then you're living a sin-free life. So 100 lifetimes of perfectly executing Sanatana Dharma, then you are qualified to become Lord Brahma.
Sanatana Dharma is worshipping God. Don't.
No, Varnashram Dharma. Varnashram Dharma is your executive. Varnashram is the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. That system.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What else we need to discuss? Okay, since there's nothing else to discuss, I wish you all a very happy week in Krishna consciousness. See you all next week if Krishna so sanctions. Vancha kalpataru vyascha kripa sindhu vyayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Jai.
Mataji ki jai, Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Mataji, what time start EST time? 9:30?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to discuss now the at least in Chile, I don't know about the US, Mataji, but in Chile, the clock is moving 1 hour behind from next Saturday. So those of you who are residing in Chile, now the class will start at 10 a.m. So if the clock is changing in your country, then you have to adjust accordingly, because our standard is always 7:30 p.m. India time. India time is our standard. No, it doesn't change. So it's always 7:30 p.m. India time. So you adjust your clock accordingly. For those in Chile, from next Saturday, class will be at 10 a.m. So for you,
EST time?
EST time, let me check. Is your clock changing, Mataji? For you?
Yes, Mataji, 2.5 hours.
Oh, I have to check, Mataji. I'm not sure. When is it changing? Saturday? Today?
Before 1 week.
Sorry.
No, time already changed here in Virginia. I mean,
It already
EST.
changed.
It already
So,
changed 1 hour forward. We have gone in the
so
screen.
now it's 11:30 a.m. there, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, exact.
Okay, and here it is 12:30.
Yeah,
So I
Australian
think
time.
it will be 10 a.m. for you, EST. Anyway, I will check it
Yes.
out and I will share in the group.
Next week, EST 10 a.m. Please forgive me.
Yes,
At
yes.
least I'm
Koti
not
Danvat
doing that,
Pranam.
right?
What's
What
that?
do you mean? We're changing time?
Yeah, time.
No, it's for some.
In Chile, Vivansh, the class next Saturday will begin at 10 a.m. for you, because you are here in Chile.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think EST time we will be on the same zone. Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
Mataji, do you
Yes,
also teach
Mataji.
Bhagavatam?
What's that?
She's
Like
asking if you teach Bhagavatam.
like these classes you're having of Bhagavad Gita, you have classes like this on Bhagavatam as well?
No, I'm not qualified for Bhagavatam. I don't go there.
You're reading it?
Reading it, I read as and when I get time, but not in a systematic way, not online, not with others like that.
Will you do this in the future?
Only Krishna knows.
Do you know anyone who give a Bhagavatam class?
Bhakti Sangha, in a Bhakti Sangha, they are now we are coming on 6th canto. Can I go, Mataji, with your permission?
Yes, Mataji.
Koti
Can you
Koti
share
Danvat.
the Bhagavatam links, Mataji, so
Yes,
that I can share
Mataji.
it? Anybody who wants
Bhakti
to join
Sangha
Bhagavatam.
link, yes.
Yeah,
I will
Bhagavatam.
share with you, you will share.
Yes.
So, morning 7:30 to 8:30, all over the world, Vaishnava are there for Shishi Bhagavatam from last 7 years. You can join all senior brahmachari from all over the world coming, and all the senior Matajis like H.G. Srinam Mataji, they all come one by one, read one chapter. So it is a very easy way so that we can understand our level, they will teach us.
And do they also explain like this?
I will share the link with H.G. Srinam Mataji. She will share with you.
In the
Every day I am
WhatsApp?
sharing in the group, Mataji, Srinam Mataji. Every day I am sharing Shishi Bhagavatam link.
Yeah, but not everybody here is in that WhatsApp group, Mataji.
Oh, I will share with you.
Okay,
I
please.
will share.
Yeah, okay.
Koti Koti Danvat Pranam,
Thank
Mataji.
you. Thank you so much. Okay, anything else? Okay, then see you all next week. Have a nice week in Krishna consciousness. Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sunam.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.